Should you self-manage or hire a property manager? Save money or save time? Well, let's figure out the right property management strategy for you. This question comes up with almost every new investor and a lot of experienced ones too. Should I manage my own rentals or should I hire a property manager and be completely hands off? Most people frame this as a money question, but it really isn't. This is a control, capacity, and scalability question. Hi, I'm Bud Evans, 35 years in the Air Force, 13 years in law enforcement. I'm a former mayor, and now I'm a full-time real estate investor and property manager. And I help veterans and first responders turn military discipline into rental income and long-term financial freedom. Look, I have self-managed, I have hired management, and I currently oversee management systems with my own property management company. There really is no one-size-fits-all answer, but there is a right answer for where you are right now. So today I'm going to break this down clearly, the pros, the cons, and how to make the decision without wrecking your cash flow or your sanity. Hey, before we get into it, do me a favor, do the thing, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next checklist, and share this with a friend, if you have any. So let us get into it. First, let's define self-management. Self-management means that you are responsible for everything. Marketing the property, screening your tenants, leases and compliance, your rent collection, maintenance coordination, tenant communications, accounting and records, evictions if you need to. Some people think self-managing just means that you're the one collecting the rent, but in reality, that's a fantasy. It is an operational role. You are the tactical response. So now let's talk about the upside of self-managing. The first advantage is kind of save some money. Just make sure you pay yourself, right? Property management typically costs somewhere between 8 and 12% of your gross rent, sometimes more with leasing fees, renewals, maintenance markups, and such. When you self-manage, that money stays with you. On one or two properties, yeah, it can matter a lot. Here's a second advantage. You stay close to the asset. You know your tenants, you know the condition of the property, and you know when problems are. That awareness can prevent small issues from becoming big ones. Third advantage, you're going to learn a little faster. Managing your own property forces you to understand the business itself. It forces you to embrace the suck. You're dealing with tenant screenings, local laws, maintenance costs, cash flow realities. That experience is valuable early on. But let's talk about the downside of self-management. First, you're trading time for money again. Every call, every text, every repair request, even if it only takes a few hours a week, it's mental bandwidth that you're wasting. That time comes out of somewhere else, whether it's your family, your career, or finding your next deal. Here's another downside: emotional decision-making. Self-management makes it hard to stay objective. Late rent feels personal. Tenant stories might influence your decisions. Boundaries can blur. Emotion is expensive in this business. The third downside: scaling becomes difficult. Managing one or two properties is manageable. Managing 10, 20, 50 while working another job, not so much. At some point, self-management is going to become your bottleneck. Now, let's talk about hiring a property manager. A professional property manager handles your day-to-day operations, so you don't have to. They're going to be the buffer between you and the tenant. Now, the upside of hiring a property manager. First advantage, you're buying back your time. This is really the biggest benefit. You're not responding to maintenance calls. You're not chasing rent. You're not managing emotions. That time can be reinvested into finding more deals, growing your income, or just plain living your life. Here's your second advantage: systems and compliance. Good property managers already have all that in place. They have their leasing processes, their screening criteria, hopefully it's good, maintenance workflows, legal compliance, so you don't have to worry about evictions, they do. That all reduces risk. Third advantage is this: scalability. If you want to grow beyond a small portfolio, management becomes a necessity. Professional management allows you to own more than one asset without owning all of the headaches associated with all of the assets. All right, let's talk about the downside of a property manager. And I've gone through a bunch of downsides with property managers. First one is cost. 8 to 12% on the deal, it matters, right? Especially when it's thin. If your deal only works without management, you probably shouldn't have bought it in the first place. It's not a strong deal. Second downside is you have lost control of the asset. You are trusting someone else with your asset. You better have done a good job screening them. Not all property managers are good. Some are mediocre. Some are terrible. Ask me why I've had bench warrants issued for my arrest. Poor management can destroy cash flow and property condition. A third downside is you have to manage the manager. This is important. Knowing that I had these bench warrants issued happened because I didn't have visibility on the citations that were issued. Hiring a property manager doesn't mean you can just disappear. You still have to review the reports. You still have to monitor performance. You still have to hold them accountable and make sure that they're not taking $300 to $500 per month in maintenance fees that you have no idea why. Passive does not mean absent. Now, here's the real decision framework. Let me break this down for you. This is not about ego. It's about stage. If you have one or two properties and limited capital, and you want to learn the business and embrace the suck and realize why you don't want to manage, self-managing can make sense in the beginning. If you live near the property and you understand the laws and you have the same type of discipline and the time, if you're growing, value your time highly, or you want to scale, property management becomes the better option. Listen, if you're house hacking and you're in a quad, self-manage away, man. Ask yourself these questions. How many properties do I plan to own? What's my time worth per hour? Do I want a job or do I want a portfolio? Does my deal cash flow with management included or not? If the numbers break with management and the deal is weak, then what? Now, let me pause here for a second. If you are a veteran and you're trying to decide whether to self-manage or hire management, this decision matters more than most people realize. I'm a member of the War Room with David Perret. We break these decisions down with real operators and real numbers and no hype and no guessing. That's why I'm in the room now, and that's why I've been in the room for the past 6 years. Hey, and when it makes sense, you go to buddevans.com. If you're not a veteran, I offer one-off coaching calls to help investors transition out of self-management to professional management without wrecking your returns. Go to buddevans.com and book a free strategy session. We can talk about it. Now, let me bring this home. Here's the truth most people are going to avoid. Self-managing is a phase. It is not a badge of honor. Hiring management is not a failure. It is a strategic shift in planning. The goal here is not to be busy. The goal here is to build a durable and scalable portfolio. All right. As always, let me lock this in with a checklist for you so that you can actually make this decision. 1, know your time commitment. 2, calculate your cash flow, always with the management included. 3, decide if learning or scaling is your current priority. 4, you have to stay emotionally neutral if you're going to self-manage. Everybody's got a story. 5, hire management before you need it, not after. 6, vet property managers like business partners. Number 7, review reports often and hold your manager accountable. Number 8, reevaluate your strategy as your portfolio grows. There is no perfect answer for everybody out there. There's only the right answer for where you currently are. So make that decision with intent, not emotionally. And hey, as always, this video helped you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and send it out to your friends. Till the next time, aim high, execute fast. See you on the next one.